Florence Ifeoluwa Otedala, best known as DJ CUPPY, is certainly one of the females who's focused on setting new records for ladies in a male-dominated industry. Taking to the turntables, the young dashing female sits with us on E-Weekly Meets to take us on a journey through her exciting and sometimes challenging world.
Now, CUPPY, where are you growing to? Where are you taking this whole DJ to? Do you think you're going to get to a level where you're going to be building people in Nigeria, especially young ones who want to get into the DJ business? I do see that coming very soon in the future.
I would love to, and everyone that knows me knows how passionate I am about, especially young women. So I would love to get involved, and I am in different campaigns, but I would love to do it myself as well. I'd love to really focus, but I always think before you help others, you must help yourself, and I have to get to a place where my brand is as strong as I need it to be. And before I even, come and sort of help young girls, I feel like I need to be a great example for Nigeria around the world, and that's why I'm really pushing my brand internationally as well, because I feel like there's just such a spotlight on Africa, and I feel like Nigeria are really the forefront of that. We set the trend for the rest of the continent, so it's so important that we're there and we're pushing ourselves. So I think that when I look at what my plans are for the next few years, there's definitely a lot of traveling involved, definitely more music, new original music, and a lot of collaborations with other African artists. Again, I keep saying Africa because I've realized how we talk about the continent, but we're really not that connected.
Away from all the glam, the young ambassador does not sit back over her father's wealth, taking her career beyond the shores of the nation and creating an accessible brand plays a major role in building her empire and running her record label.
When you're building a brand and when you're on the sort of public image, it's your job to make it look like things are all rosy, and I think I do a very great job at that. I very easily put any issues aside and get on with work. It's something I've always been good at, but yeah, it has been a challenging year in many forefronts. I've had a few, apart from the usual sort of me having to work twice as hard to prove half as much, because people get caught up in the background stuff.
The Maktoum is called the Maktoum inflation.
Yes, people sort of, and so people sort of get, so I mean, one challenge, as it always has been, of course, is my dad. That's one thing. Another thing is I've had a few sort of performances whereby, it's very hard when you take your job very seriously and you prepare for it, and you're sort of very heavily criticized, and no one knows the back end of the story, so there's been a few performances whereby, not really a few, one in particular, whereby I've been very well prepared, but I've been unfortunately cut short and not been able to showcase myself, and I'm like my worst critic. So when I don't get the opportunity to showcase my talent, my skill, it really frustrates me, because I know already a lot of people give me, I guess they just don't really give me the great benefit of doubt. I feel like before I even play, a lot of people make decisions in their head, and we all judge people, so I completely understand, but I love when I have the opportunity to showcase myself. And also another thing is, people always talk about platforms, so a lot of people will mention that they feel like, oh, maybe I've had it easy, which is very interesting, and this is me being very honest, and I find that very difficult because people don't see how hard I work. Apart from that, people don't also realize that if it was based on platforms or connections, I wouldn't be sitting with you a year later, because those things can only open so many doors. After a while, if you're not good at what you do,
just slow. True, very true.
So these are challenges I'm dealing with, and also, of course, being a woman as well, sort of trying to position myself in a way that that I'm a great example. I think when we look at our industry, it's something that's very hard to do, because we don't have, like I said, women don't have the kind of supports I feel like they need. So this makes it very hard to position yourself, because you want to be on par with all your fellow artists, all your fellow DJs, but my brand is just so different, and so sometimes I'm in a place where, oh gosh, okay, what do I do? Try to do this. You know, it's a very confusing thing, and because I'm doing something new, there's no blueprint, so I'm making decisions as I go. So really and truly, you know, I don't have everything figured out. So it's taking each day as it comes.
In 2014, she was the resident DJ at the NTV African Music Awards in Durban, South Africa. She also played at the Tatler and Christie's Art Ball in London and the Financial Times Luxury Summit in Mexico. That same year, she released The House of CUPPY, her first compilation mix CD in both London and Lagos, Nigeria.
I do my research. At the end of the day, you know, I want to sit down here and say, oh no, I play what I want, but my job is to keep the dance floor full and to make my clients happy.
Okay.
So, you know, whether that means I'm playing, I was in Dubai and I was booked for a big show. I was told to play literally Arabic music the whole night. I had no idea what they said. I managed to squeeze in a little bit of skelewu in there, but at the end of the day, I had to play majority of the music they wanted me to play. You know, so it's really sort of finding that balance between making people happy, but also I'm booked for a reason. I'm not booked because I sound like the next DJ. And that's one thing you'll find with the typical DJ CUPPY set. I'm very different from every Nigerian DJ because I plug in my influences from everywhere I go. So, you know, I'll do a bit of house, I'll do a bit of reggae, a bit of hip hop, I'll do a bit of everything. Rather than, you know, those sort of DJs here that just play back to back Afrobeats. I think it's so important to fuse both of them because it makes it very interesting. I want people to come listen to me playing and not even see me on the decks, but know that, be able to hear me.
Early 2015, DJ CUPPY was featured on the cover of The Guardian Life as a new generation African woman. Later in March, she was the official DJ for the 2015 All Barons charity in Dubai and the first African act to have ever performed at the event. That was not enough for 2015. She made the 2015 April-May issue of Forbes Women Africa.